Hello and welcome to a special program of Cricket Predicta brought to you by 1xBet who make infrastructures. Guess what happened in Delhi last night? Yes, you heard it right. RCB is at the top of the table. And guess what? Virat Kohli is the man, and we did discuss in yesterday's program that could Virat Kohli and more importantly Krunal Pandya, could he be the differentiator between the two teams? And guess what? It was. Virat Kohli secured the top position in the IPL as the top batter, and Krunal Pandya made an interesting contribution. Let's look at what happened last night. Royal Challengers Bangalore have officially secured their top spot at the IPL 2025 points table. At the Arun Jaitley Stadium, RCB defeated the Delhi Capitals by 6 wickets, chasing down with the target of 163 with 9 balls to spare. The star of the night was Krunal Pandya. Yes, he played a blistering unbeaten knock of 73 of just 47 deliveries. Meanwhile, Kohli, returning to his home ground, smashed his 6th half century of the season, scoring 51 in just 47 deliveries, reclaiming the orange cap, which goes to the top batter of the season. Yes, RCB bowlers also delivered a strong performance. Bhuvneshwar Kumar picked up 3 wickets, while Josh Hazlewood chipped in with 2 crucial wickets. Krunal Pandya and Yash Dayal also picked up a wicket each, restricting Delhi to a modest total. With this commanding win, RCB now firmly sits on top of the table, something which we could not have imagined in a long time, not at least in the last 17 years. And now, before we turn our focus on to today's match, it's always time to get Paul Dinette on to the mark. Paul, welcome to the show. For our viewers, Paul Dinette is a podcaster based out of Sydney who's always up for a call and gives his opinion. Paul, what do you think of DC? Where did they fail against RCB? Was it slow scoring or was it tight bowling by the RCB?
I actually don't think that DC did a great deal wrong. I think it was a really high-class game of cricket on a difficult two-paced surface, and I think that RCB were magnificent. Yeah, Faf du Plessis, Akshar Patel weren't as fluent as they would like to be. Same with KL Rahul. But you've got to give some credit to the RCB bowling. Josh Hazlewood, fabulous yet again. Bhuvi was pretty good. Krunal Pandya was pretty good, and Surya Sharma was excellent as well. So then with the ball, Delhi for a while looked like they were going to win it. Magnificent partnership that put the game ultimately out of their reach between Krunal Pandya and Virat Kohli, and of course Tim David finishing it off brilliantly at the end. Delhi probably needed to attack a little bit earlier in that partnership and really force the game wide open with another couple of wickets. They may have allowed a few too many singles for RCB, but again, you've got to just say there's a lot of quality batting there. And probably the drop catch of Krunal Pandya towards the end by Abhishek Parel robbed them of any hope of winning. But yeah, I think it was more a case of RCB winning this one than Delhi losing it.
Well, last night we spoke about Krunal Pandya's contribution, and guess what? He played a blinder of an innings, also securing 1 wicket. But do you think his form and Tim David's form back down at the bottom, is it really helping us out and RCB into the top 4?
Yeah, I mean, each of them played really well. Krunal Pandya bowled well as well, but his innings was superb. That Kohli and Pandya kept them in the game. They kept things ticking over. But just as the run rate was starting to creep up on, as I said, a difficult surface, it was Krunal Pandya who really seized the game, some crisp boundaries, got things back under control, and I can't speak too highly of his innings. And then Tim David, I've said a lot of times that he should be batting higher up the order. I think this was one game when they got it right in terms of where he batted. It probably wasn't necessarily his style of surface, but when he came in with that little bit of pressure on, smashed the ball to the boundary, and you could see by Kohli's reaction, and I'm sure Krunal Pandya standing there was delighted that he didn't have to face another ball that Tim David just finished it off. So yeah, they are looking really red hot. RCB, a fantastic win.
Paul, we've spoken about this man. The world has spoken about him. Of course, the man is Virat Kohli in news. Of course, he's back with the orange cap. What do you make up of his form? Whenever the graph shoots up, India has done well. Do you think it's time for the fortunes of RCB to turn the favour?
Yeah, it was a fantastic innings from Virat Kohli. And if you didn't watch the game and just looked at the scoreboard and saw 51 from 47 in the IPL, that's not all that special. but it was. They looked like they were going to lose the game and lose it by a margin. Kohli's just calmness, his class in that partnership with Pandya. Any opportunity he got to hit a four, he would do it. But then just so many crisp, certain singles that he was hitting, just keeping things ticking over. And, Krunal Pandya, ultimately when the game was on the line, as I said before, really made the difference, and Tim David iced it at the end. But in the absence of Virat Kohli's innings, then I think a lot of other teams would have lost this game from this position because there would have been wickets falling at the other end and it would have unravelled. Kohli, it's not for nothing that he has the record by far as the best white ball chaser in the history of cricket. Any time you've got a white ball game and you've got a target, you want Virat Kohli more than any other player in history, and today he showed it. It wasn't his most dynamic innings by any stretch. And as I said, if you didn't see the game and just looked at the scorecard, you might think, maybe he should have accelerated earlier. I don't think so. I think he played magnificently and combined well with Krunal Pandya and then Tim David at the end. Fantastic win for RCB.
We are joined by Anil, the famous Chaudhary umpire, who's got a slow death of his raising his finger. Now, thus no more, because he is now in the commentary box and currently in Hong Kong enjoying his six-a-side game. Anil, welcome to the show. Is Rajasthan Royals coming off 5 consecutive defeats in the last 5 games of the tournament? Do you think Gujarat guys will have an edge and the morale would be high of the Gujarat and RR way down the order?
Rajasthan meeting Gujarat after losing 5 games in a row. So Gujarat will be very positive and highly motivated because Rajasthan will be under pressure because losing 5 games, the teamwork, other things, coordination, all is not normal. So things will be tougher for Rajasthan Royals and they need to come hard. They should give few individual good performance to overcome that. Otherwise, Gujarat is a very, very good team, very balanced team, and they are winning also. And in table also they are at the top. So tough game for Rajasthan. But yes, T20 individual performance can give good result, and it's a home game for them. So they know the conditions, and toss also is important to give that 10-15% edge. But yes, Rajasthan will be under pressure in front of Gujarat because of defeats in their kit bag.
This is an important question. Led by Shubman Gill from the front, do you think Gujarat Titans have secured these top spot thanks to his top order batting, or do you think the bowlers have got a larger role to play here?
The way Shubman Gill is playing for Gujarat, it is a good sign for them, and he is leading from the front. And because if your captain is in form, it helps. It help to lead the team in very positive manner, and you are confident. You do a lot of things which when you are under pressure you can't do, like it is happening with Pant. So but Gill is doing very well, and it is going to help them, and they have slightly upper hand against Rajasthan because Rajasthan already under pressure, and the performance of Gill is a major factor in Gujarat's success so far.
Well, we are joined by Stanley Chiodza, of course, the coach at the Sportif Academy at the Emirates Hills, of course, one of the premium cricketing academy and a premier coach. Stanley, welcome to the show. We'll get straight on in the Rajasthan Royals. They have lost the last 3 games with a downfall in the death overs. Yes, the graph suddenly comes down, which could they have won but failed to cross the line. What do they need to do in order to win, especially in today's match against GT?
So now, the sort of season that Rajasthan Royals is currently having, they need to realize they're not the first and they won't be the last to ever go through it. Another team has had to go through this prior to them. I mean, look at it this way. Who would have ever thought that the Chennai Super Kings will be at the bottom of the table? But such is the nature of the beast, such is the nature of the tournament. It's a 10-team tournament after all. Somebody will eventually have a bad run, and unfortunate, it's Rajasthan Royals this season. However, they need to assess, accept, and adapt to the fact that they've not had a good season. When you've lost 7 matches out of 10, it's a pressure cooker. You know, the shoulders keep getting low, the confidence keeps getting low. But importantly, they need to get to a point where they realize that this is how the season has gone before it's too late, and use the remaining matches, the remainder of the matches that are yet to come, for a purpose in terms of enjoying the game, looking back to your process as an individual and making sure you get that right. Go back to basic cricket, as it were. T20 still allows for that. And I think the one team that has done that very well is the very team that they're playing today in Gujarat Titans. They're a team that are clinical. They're a team that are very orthodox, except they do their basics at a high intensity and at a high level of skill. So, be that as it may, it's not just been a bad season for Rajasthan Royals, because there's been some good in it. It's just their inability to get over the line, as it were, with regard to the few chases that they've had, where they've put themselves in good positions to win the game, just failed to clean it up. So that just requires, for example, the batting lineup. Jaiswal has been doing a good job. He needs to extend his stay. Okay, look to that old brand of cricket of wickets in hand, as it were, until the very end. You're playing a team that plays this game very much on merit. So should Rajasthan Royals. Play the game on merit. Spend more time on the wicket for the batsman. Bowlers, come to your basics. Look to bowl those heavy delivers through to your keeper. Look to use your variations where necessary, but importantly, look to raise that dot ball percentage. Don't look to take wickets. When you look to take wickets, you go for runs. Look to bowl as many dot balls as you can. That's the sort of mode they need to get themselves into. That's the sort of mode that each and every individual needs to try and back themselves in believing in what got them to this into the team in the beginning. They're not bad cricketers. However, it's important that they start enjoying the game. They're not enjoying the game. The results are such that it's hard to. However, as a player at this sort of level, you need to find the one aspect that made you enjoy this game and stick to that.
Well, we've seen the success of various teams. What do you think is the reason for Gujarat Titans? Is it because of the skipper who's in a blistering form, or is it the overall management of the team that has been doing wonders and giving them a little bit of luck? Your views, Stanley?
So now I think it's a fantastic combination between team management and obviously the captain. It's really, really hard to separate that, because at the end of the day, you sit down as a unit, and then you try and map a way forward off the field and on the field. But importantly for me, I think what Gujarat Titans have done well is they had a good season last year. It wasn't exactly the best, but it was pretty decent. But what they've looked to do, they've looked to build on that. And what they've done very well for me is how they've retained a couple of key players. Okay, the likes of Shubman Gill, the captain, Sai Sudarshan. And up and above that, when they went into the auction, they struck a good balance between match winners like your Joss Butler coming in, and then consistent players coming in. The spinners, for example, like Sai Kishore, your finishers like Shafee and Rutherford. This is the sort of mentality that they have in terms of, we want consistency, but up and above that, players, the X factor. But importantly, because it's such a long tournament, you're better off having consistent players. And this is exactly what's happening for Gujarat Titans. So kudos to team management and captaincy for this line of thinking, and it's paying off. It's paying off very well. The method in which that they've gone about it, and I think just realizes and highlights the sort of nature in which how they want to play their cricket. They want to raise the level in terms of basics, good basic cricket, but performing it at a high level. This is high performance cricket at the end of the day, but they're just drawing the line and they're just further pushing the ceiling in terms of what we can call high performance. So the Gujarat Titans, clinical, orthodox, the style of play, it's very plain. I mean, it's a book that anybody can read. It's just that they've managed to get in a good, a strong unit of players who have come in, and they're just looking to further push themselves and further pushing the limit, further pushing the ceiling in terms of performance. Who would have ever thought Gujarat Titans would be in this position? But you know what? Seeing them last season, seeing them this season, they're not doing something. It's not that they're doing something major in terms of difference, but they're just pushing themselves further, extending that boundary to say, look, we did this way last season, we can go one better this season. So they are in a good space. I think there's clarity in terms of role play that's key, and the fact that they've got their top order, their senior players doing well. Yes, obviously the middle order is not been battle tested as yet. It's bound to happen, but such is the nature of the beast. There are teams who go through a stellar season without their middle order or any other batsman in that for that matter, not having really tested battleground. But if it's working, there's no need to change it. There's no game where you can get into a match that because we've not had our middle order facing balls, let's give them an opportunity. No, that's not how it works. If Shubman Gill is scoring runs, his job is to maintain that. So that's exactly where they are. They're in a good space and they're enjoying a good brand of cricket.
Thank you. That was Stanley Chiozza, the famous coach from Zimbabwe, who's currently in Dubai right now. We also thank Anil Chaudhary, the famous IPL umpire, now in the commentary box, currently in Hong Kong enjoying his holiday, and Paul Dinette, the podcaster from Sydney. The show is called Cricket Predicta, and we have the ingredient of data, drama, stories, stats, all put together to create something in a beautiful format called a half an hour show of Cricket Predicta. Thanking all my sponsors, 1xBat and Womeki Infrastructures. This is Sunil Yash Kalra signing off from the beautiful Marbella Resorts and requesting you not to change the channel. Don't go anywhere else. We'll be back after